Welcome to Passionaire Magazine, the podcast where we talk about business, tech, food and travel, fashion, health and fitness, the arts and culture, where we want you to live your passion. Passionaire Magazine, the podcast. Thank you for joining me for the topic of inspiring others and making a positive impact. Let's get started. One of the first things that we can do is to share our story. Be open about your journey, including your challenges as well as your failures. When people see that success is not a straight line, they're more likely to be inspired and relate to your experiences. Now, I share about my personal experiences in various ways, be it that I share from the perspective of being a woman, or perhaps it's being a person of color, or as a breast cancer survivor. There are so many different ways that we can connect with others. Perhaps it's on the level of being a person of faith. However it is, when we share our story, there's going to be someone out there who can see, hear themselves in you. By sharing our stories, it makes us relatable. It makes us human. Everyone has a story to share. And if we simply slow down just long enough to connect with another, we're able to see how we have more alike than unalike many times. Number 2 would be lead by example. Demonstrate your values, your work ethic, and behaviors you want others to adopt. Your actions speak louder than your words. If you're the type of person that says that you need to show up for a community, but you're never at a community event, then people may start to doubt your actions because it seems like you're just words. If you want to work with the youth, work with the youth. The adults will understand. If you're a person who cares for our elderly, our seniors, then work with our elderly, with our senior community. It's okay if you choose to concentrate on a particular group. I have a friend who chooses to help those that are homeless. Now, not everyone is called to that type of ministry, that type of work, but she feels that she has been. She has a unique set of skills that enable her to work beautifully with those that are homeless, loving on those that have less than many others do. She has a way of doing it so graciously, so eloquently, that those who interact with her feel the love that she is trying to give to them. They accept it willingly and lovingly, return it back to her in the way that they can. I think it's wonderful that she is walking in her purpose. She is doing that which she has been called to do. Another is when it comes to inspiring others and making a positive impact, is to set a vision and a purpose. Speaking of walking and working in your purpose and passion, define a clear vision and purpose for yourself and for your team or teams. People are inspired when they know that they are working towards something meaningful and impactful. When people understand that what they're doing is bigger than themselves, then they too are willing to give a little bit more. The same way that you want to give a little bit more every day, your team will feel that as well. Next, be passionate. Show enthusiasm and passion for what you do. Your genuine excitement can be contagious and inspire others to share their enthusiasm. I mean, can you imagine you're trying to get somebody else fired up about what you're doing, but there's no fire in your speech? I don't know. if I would want to attend, go with, hear, listen to, be there, if you're saying, yeah, I'm excited. Are you? Doesn't sound like it. But if you're telling me, oh my gosh, it's going to be awesome because, and you're listing all of these things, and it's like, this is the third time I've been. I'm so excited to go this year. Okay. Maybe there's something to it. You've heard someone tell you a story about an experience that they had, and they were fired up. They were so excited. That's because that passion, it is truly contagious. And who doesn't want to go to, hang out with the person who's on fire for what they want to do? I know that I am enthusiastically involved in the things that really bring happiness, joy, purpose, and meaning to my life, be it work or my personal life. So do that as well. And you will find that when you are passionate about those things that you are passionate about, others will want to know more. Next would be empower others. Encourage and enable people to take ownership of their tasks and their projects. When people feel trusted, they feel empowered. And when they feel empowered, they are more likely to be inspired and perform at their best level. I am told time and time again by clients how they're so ready to leave their workplace because their ideas keep getting stolen. Be it that they share it in a meeting or they're working on a team project and someone says, I came up with an idea. And it is what should have been considered the team's idea, which is this particular person's idea. But instead, it is presented as though it belongs to Jack or Jane because they're the ones who brought it to that table, that brought it to the boss, the director, the owner, the CEO, the COO, the CFO, whomever it is, right? Because they mentioned it first, they take all the credit. And that could get kind of old if that keeps happening. So many times people will leave not because they don't enjoy being at a particular workplace, but because they're not getting the respect or the recognition that they deserve. So when we learn to empower others by allowing them to be who they are, to speak up and to say what's on their mind, we empower them and they in turn help us do that which we are in the middle of doing. So that leads to the next point quite naturally. Recognize and appreciate everyone. Acknowledge and appreciate the efforts and the achievements of those around you. Recognition can boost both morale and motivation. If you've noticed that someone used to come in late and now they're coming in on time, instead of going, glad to see you got a watch, finally, someone learned how to get here on time. When they're late, instead of the sarcasm, ask, is everything okay? Most of the time, things are fine. But sometimes it could be they have a sick child, a sick parent. They've moved and they're adjusting to the new time, and this is only temporary. Or you just don't know what's going on in someone's life. If you notice that someone has taken your constructive criticism and turned it into a win, acknowledge that. You know what? I remember last week, 6 months ago, when I said perhaps we should go with a different shade of blue, that prettier hue. And they did exactly what you said. Like they took your constructive criticism to task and made it happen? Acknowledge that. Recognize that they listened to you. They didn't just hear you, but they listened to everything that you said and implemented the changes. And now you're all sitting on a win. Go ahead and, acknowledge that person. Have them stand up. Have everybody cheer for a little while, right? Everyone wants their few seconds in the spotlight. Everyone wants their moment in the sun. Give people those little things. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you think it does, I'm so sorry to tell you that that is incorrect. The same way that you want your accolades, you may want your name in the paper or in glowing lights, right? So do a few other people as well. They may not want the responsibility of being the guy or gal with the keys to the office, but they do like leading the team that they lead. Acknowledge that, recognize that, and let them know that you appreciate their efforts. I remember I made a statement one time at a workshop where it was for entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. And everyone was saying, you got to be able to do this and do that. And, rah, rah, rah. And I said, there may be some of you who are still employees and you're trying to decide if you want to step out and step into being an entrepreneur. I want you to know that as an entrepreneur, we need employees too. We need people that are amazing at everything that they do. We need an awesome receptionist. We need great admins. We need great folks to run our warehouses. We need folks to run the HR department, to make sure that marketing is spot on, that it's doing what it needs to do. So if you're finding that perhaps entrepreneurialism isn't for you, then I want to remind you, you are called to be an amazing, whatever title you have right now. We have a tendency to think that everybody needs to be us. And I have to kind of beg to differ there. I think that everyone needs to be them. That you need to be you. Wonderfully and beautifully created you. You need to do what you have been put to task to do in this lifetime. And I think that we should recognize people for that and appreciate what they have been called to do. But see, that's my way of, next item, providing guidance and mentorship. By offering guidance and mentorship to those who seek it, we share our knowledge and experience to help others grow and achieve their goals. In understanding that every young lady that I talk to has no desire to become a pastoral counselor. She has no desire to have a magazine or to be on television. She does not need to see her name in bright lights and a billboard in order for her to feel motivated. But maybe she wants to be a surgeon, something that I would never aspire to be. I don't particularly care for blood. But yet, she has been called to something that is amazing, something that is going to change, if not save, the life of another. That should be applauded. So what could I tell her, considering I care not to be in the operating room, and she doesn't care to be in front of the camera nor behind it? What we can share is that you have been given a something. You have a skill set. You have a direction in which you have been called to walk in that. You have found a passion for people by helping them in one of their most vulnerable times. You are able to remove a broken part and stitch back together the pieces that are healthy and strong. You are able to cut out the challenge, cut out the obstacle for that person when it comes to their medical journey, their wellness path. That's important. Maybe my way of helping someone on their wellness journey is by helping them with their mental health, with their spiritual health, with their entrepreneurial joys, ups and downs as it goes. But even though we do different things, we are still going on a journey. We are still ever moving forward in doing what we do. And when we do that, when we decide that we are going to empower another, to share our spark of light with the next person, then we all, as I like to say, if I shine my light and you shine yours, together we can light the way for those who cannot see. In that illumination, we are saying, here I am, and there we go, that we are moving ever forward. And anyone who needs to join, anyone who wants to join, may do so. But understand that we will not dim our light. You must shine yours. When I share, you learn. When you learn, you share, which means someone else is going to learn as well. That is how we light the way for another and another and another. So providing these ways to mentor and to guide another can be a very eye-opening experience because every person has their unique challenges. And perhaps you never thought of it that way. But when you help especially a younger person on their journey, you will find that not only did you teach them, but you also learned as well. Because they're going to trust you with their information. They're going to trust you with what they're feeling. And in earning that trust, you get to build a stronger foundation for yourself and for the next person who comes behind them. Which leads me to my next point, and that is to set high standards. Establish high standards, but achievable standards. When people are challenged to excel, they often rise to the occasion and find inspiration in reaching new heights. When you make the bar so low that you simply could almost just trip and fall over it, no effort is put in, then most will be considered successfully having crossed that bar. But when you set the standard higher, when you make someone work for the effort, you will find that most people at the end, when they have achieved, will say, it was so hard the first time, but boy, am I glad I did it. Anybody out there listening, former military, do you remember when you went through basic training? And maybe it was you, or maybe it was your person next to you. And you guys are schlepping through the mud. You're going up and down and over and flipping over the wall, and you're crawling through this or that, or you're out there in the murky waters, however it is, for whatever branch you were in. And for a second you thought, oh my gosh, this is a lot. I don't know if I could do this. Or you heard someone else say, just leave me. I don't know. I want to go home. It is in that moment that you realized that, hey, I made it. Wow, we all made it. Because the standard was set so high, you thought that you couldn't do it, but due to a great group effort of motivating you, pushing you, getting you to understand that yes, you can, even if you hadn't before, you can this time. Now, look at where you are. You have successfully completed and gone on to walk in the path in which you believe you have been called to task, called to purpose on. You have done something that some others may not be able to successfully achieve. It doesn't make them less than. It doesn't make you more than. It simply means that you were able to set the standard, reach the standard, and succeed. Others might need a little longer. Others might need more practice. But the more we practice at raising and elevating our standard to be the best that it could possibly be, the better result we give to our client or customer base. No matter what your business is, no matter how you're listening or why you're listening, when we give our best to our clients, to our customers, then they in turn want to interact with us more. When we are inspiring others to be their best, when we are making a positive impact on the lives of others, from military to civilian, from founder, president, CEO to receptionist, if we are being our best, then we can inspire others to be their best. We can have a positive impact on those that are around us so that they too will want to be their best. Which leads to my next point, and that is give back. No matter where you are in life, no matter what you're doing, give back. Engage in community. Engage in philanthropic ideas in service. When people see you making a positive impact on the world, it can inspire them to do the exact same thing. Now, if you say, I don't have a lot of money, I want to give more, but I just don't have it in the budget. Giving isn't always about finances. Sometimes it's about helping hands. It's about giving your time. It's about giving your sweat equity. It's about picking up that hammer and helping to build the house. It's about being one of the people that's helping direct traffic. It's giving food to those who do not have it by simply handing a bag to that next smiling face. It's about being in the sun, helping to clean up your local beach. Whatever it is, do not be limited by one thing or the other. Perhaps yours is the other way around. Dr. Angela, I don't have time to go out and participate in a Clean the Beach week, but I can write a check to that organization or association. Then that's what you do. You sponsor 2 or 3 girls to go to a retreat for empowering girls. You create a scholarship fund so that someone in the field of whatever field you're in can perhaps have their books paid for. Their room and board will be covered because of you. Whatever it is. There are so many ways that we can give back that if we sit down and we are creative and we use that energy to be a positive force in the life, then we can be so inspiring for others. We can make a positive impact in this world, truly. So do not be limited by old experiences, by past experiences. Do not be limited by small thinking people. Don't do it. Instead, ask yourself, what can I do to be the change I want to see? What can I do that can help inspire others to keep walking in a positive path? And when you do so, I believe that if you take the time to listen, you will definitely have the ears to hear. Thank you for spending time with me today. Thank you for listening to Passionaire Magazine, the podcast.